today is Saturday, February the 1st. Coming around quick, First Church of God. And we'd like to invite Pastor Allen to say a word of prayer for us.
I too would like to welcome you to Darlington First Church of God. I am Alan Weibel, the pastor here. Did want to let you know if you need to use the restrooms, they're down the hall to the left. There's a men's room, and then down farther would be the ladies. Would you pray with me? Lord, we thank you for this moment that we have together. Thank you for the time that we have. Lord, we pray that your presence would be here, that you would be welcomed in this place as well. Lord, we thank you for the city that we all love. Lord, we pray that in the future, as it's been in the past, that this city would be just a jewel in the PD. Lord, we thank you for this new city manager and what she represents. Lord, we pray that you would be with her, that you would guide her, that you would give her wisdom, that you would give her courage, that you would give her strength. Lord, we pray for the city council and the mayor, Lord, that you would have your way in them as well, that they would follow you as they lead our city. Lord, we pray your blessing on Darlington. We pray your blessing on this place. In Jesus' name, amen.
Everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item number 2, we got resolutions. 2.1 resolution to adopt the 2024 PD Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan. Mrs. Holt.
Good morning, everyone. Council, this resolution came to us from the PD Regional Council of Governments. It is recommended that you receive and adopt the resolution. One, because it kind of gives us an opportunity to receive FEMA funds. It is up to you, but it is the recommendation, and you have done this in the past, and you have worked on this process that brought about this hazard mitigation plan. If you don't have a copy, I can get you a copy of it, but it shouldn't be anything of concern to adopt this resolution. That's my recommendation.
Motion to adopt.
Point of order. Was this advertised as a regular meeting too? I see on the agenda it says City Council Public Forum / regular meeting. If it's just a public forum, unfortunately, I don't think we're allowed to vote on items.
I think she promoted this.
We did?
She promoted it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It started out as just going to be public forum, but then she actually changed it when we did it as a regular meeting also, so that way you can't do it.
Okay.
We need some more explanation as to what it is.
We do that every year, it's the same thing. This is the same thing, we're just approving it to be read. We have to approve it to do it.
Okay. Why we're rescinding?
Okay,
Motion.
I do. I would like to make the motion that we adopt the resolution, the 2024 PD Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
I will second.
Second. Aye. Very good, motion is carried. All right, the city department updates. Do we got a scheduled order y'all want to come in?
I will call them.
Gotta get that, let me carry it, I'll be your cupbearer, man.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start with building.
Who's building? She.
It's right.
Good morning, Mayor and Council and the citizens of the City of Darlington.
So we had a lot of good things happen in the city of Darlington for 2024, including construction of affordable rental property that as quickly as it can be completed, it is being rented. The construction of affordable houses for sale, same, they are being built and they are being sold. So that's great for us. And then the remodel of older vacant homes, that some of them are being sold and some of them are for lease. So that as far as residential goes. So just in residential, the residential side, investors, developers, and homeowners have invested in 2024 $3,446,387.44 in new construction, new rental, and remodeling of vacant properties and their own homes. Likewise, the commercial side of our economy is also doing rather well. Starbucks, as all of you know, while it looks completed on the outside, they are working on it on the inside and anticipate it will open this spring. Tractor Supply did some remodeling and adding to their facility. Of course, the courthouse was completed, as was the historic museum. And Genesis continues to remodel and integrate new health services into our community. And so on the commercial economic side, $6,504,403.41 has been invested into the beauty and betterment of the city of Darlington. And as we continue to grow, we're on course to see more commercial growth this year. And while I can't give specific names of companies, I can say that in 2025 we anticipate another restaurant and another major retail store to add to the community, as well as several smaller retail spaces. And then there is a restaurant that's going to go through a major remodel. And then we have another museum that will be coming. So we're definitely headed in the direction of the vision of revitalization that we all have for the city. We're definitely excited about the economic growth this year and the years to come. The other thing that we have been doing, and we finally finished, a database for the department so that we can keep track of all of the nonprofits that we have in our city, as well as the difference between owner-occupied properties and tenant space, as well as how many parcels of property that we have in each district, each zoning district, vacant properties. So we're really excited about that, that all of our information, communication, if you call into the office, we're able to make record of all verbal communication, all written communication. All of our parcels of land are now, they have their own digital files. So if there's ever a question about what's going on in the city as far as that goes, we have everything in one spot and everything recorded, so that in 10 years from now we know why we made decisions today. And I think that that's definitely going to be beneficial for the citizens and for our leadership to be able to find out where we were and where we're going. So.
Question, are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Sheila, can you comment on the vacant ordinance update? One sentence.
So the vacant ordinance, new letters will be going out. We had to finish the database so that we would have an accurate count of the vacant properties, and so new letters will be going out next week.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Davis, if you will.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. The police department, as far as reports go, we are just about fully staffed finally. There was a period where it was hard to find individuals wanting to get into this profession, but we are almost fully staffed. We have a new traffic unit that is trying to get traffic enforcement under control. And the reason I say that is just some stats. the reason that we actively enforce traffic laws, and they seem petty to me at this time, but last year in South Carolina alone, we had almost 1,000 traffic deaths. And if enforcing traffic will prevent some of those, that's what I'm here for. We enforce seatbelt laws. Of those 1,000, over 300 were not wearing seatbelt. If I could just get that 300 to wear seatbelts, it would reduce that number drastically in South Carolina. Major crimes has gone down in the city of Darlington. Unfortunately, smaller crimes such as larceny has increased. One area that we've noticed a big increase on is theft from a motor vehicle. We have a lot of that. Residents will park their vehicles and leave them unlocked overnight. And we just have criminals that come along and pull door handles on cars until they find an unlocked one. And they'll rummage through it and take everything from firearms to expensive jewelry to somehow or another some people can cash their checks and leave their whole paycheck in cash in their center console. Mine is spent just about as fast as I make it. We ask that you lock the doors, even when you're in your yard, and remove the firearms at night. We're making it too easy for our criminals. Another area that we would like to see come down, was it scams? These are so easy nowadays with social media and people sending you scams in your emails. If you think it's a scam, it probably is. But call somebody, call a friend, call us at the police department. We hear about them. Ask us if it's a scam. Get somebody else to check it out. Be careful when you open these emails. If you open it and it's sending you somewhere else, and you open that attachment, these people could, at the snap of a finger, they have everything that is on your computer. Your passwords, your usernames, your address, your date of birth. And they'll put one thing with another thing and another thing with another thing, and the next thing you know, they have your identity. And they're using it to cause you problems. So if you think it's a scam, it probably is, but please, call us, call somebody. Call it, I hate to say this, call a young person that knows the ins and outs of all these new computers and things like that. We'll be more than glad to have you at the police department. Give us a call. Assaults have gone down a little bit, but every little bit counts. Last year we wrote over 2,500 traffic tickets. We had over 2,500 reported calls for service. That's the documented ones. That's not just the ones where, can you ride through my neighborhood? Can you check on this? A suspicious person that's, we never find anything, but we had over 2,500 reported calls for service. Ms. Hawkins, anything else from me?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief, I just wanted to know, when you're talking about the scams and you're giving us all the information as to what to look out for, as the police department, is there anything that you can do if we bring it to you? Tell us what.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I would appreciate that you bring it to us. At least it makes us aware of it so we can pass the word on to everyone else. Unfortunately, most of the time with the scams, it is one person sitting in a remote place, and by remote you could say out of my house in the country, and that computer is connected to some other country that's connected to 3 other countries that is getting pinged all over the place to come back to your computer. It is very hard to track down. Very hard.
Have you been able to track anyone where it comes back to someone locally?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
said, they will be here to ask questions and for updates.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me come out and speak to the community. From the fire department last year, we had a pretty much uneventful year. At this time, the fire department is fully staffed. We have 3 people on 24-hour shifts. We have a daytime, which is myself and my assistant chief, who serves as the city fire marshal, and he helps with the safety coordination. Last year, we ran around 683 calls. We respond to a lot of mutual aid calls out in the county because fires are hard to find at this time. So we do a lot of mutual aid calls with those. Last year, we were fortunate. We received a V-Safe grant from the state. It was $13,000 to help provide equipment that we wouldn't have to take out of our budget. We also got a very fortunate gift from Senator Malloy and Robert Williams. We were granted $250,000 to replace radios for the fire department and the police department. Put us on the 800 system with Palmetto. As always, we do a smoke alarm install. If you need a smoke alarm in your house and you are in our district, if you will give us a call, my guys will come out and they will install the smoke alarms. We'll teach you a little bit about fire safety, some things that will help you around the house. Also, volunteers. We've got 3 volunteers that came on this year. We could always use more. If someone feels like they want to help the community, I urge you to come and apply, get an application. We provide free training, and we could use the help. Ma'am?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jett?
Well, thank y'all for the speech today. At the Doctor Recreation Department, now we are in basketball season. We're coming to an end next week. I'm actually going to the state meeting next week. We are due to host one of the districts at the end of the month. Don't know yet which one yet, but we will be hosting one of the sub-districts for Scout basketball. Just went to Little League meeting. We did it through Zoom. We are scheduled to host 3 of the state tournaments so far. We know we're hosting 2 on June 26th. That should bring in about maybe 10 to 12 teams between the 2 tournaments throughout the state. So that'll be between June 26th to June 30th. And then we'll do to host another one July 10th. So we're engaging and trying to bring people into Darlington. Our numbers at the Recreation Department are very solid. We got about 200 kids playing basketball. Baseball registration is ongoing. Kids are slowly signing up, but it's every year. They wait till the first of the month. We got 2 weeks left, so we should be seeing a boom in baseball. We estimate that we normally keep our numbers. We normally average about 400 kids playing baseball. We average about 20 teams. So we should have, that number should stay the same. As far as the ball field, we got an update yesterday. We were supposed to get the key on the 14th turnover. We was advised that it'd probably be a week later, the 22nd. They're waiting on some breakers to come in. We did walk through yesterday. Everything else is on schedule other than the power. But everything else is on. They're actually working today, this weekend. They actually are letting the high school go get on the field and practice starting Monday. So they'll be able to use the field Monday, but they won't be power until the 22nd. But everything else is on schedule. It looks good. We go out there daily and walk, we get daily updates. We're estimating starting our season around April 1st. We should be practicing in March. Our opening day ceremony will be on the 12th. I think McConnell is supposed to be doing like a concert. We're also planning a couple of movie series for the summer at Wells Park on Main Street by the old Dixie Cup. We're actually getting together to schedule a summer series of movies that will be shown on the weekends. We haven't got the dates yet, but we're actually planning on doing that. We have a father-daughter dance to do next week. It's next Thursday. Right now we got about 36 couples sign up. So we're looking to have a good time with that. We got a schedule of monthly trips for the seniors coming up. I got it on each table. Angel's doing a good job of scheduling with bingo. She has Valentine painting. She has glass cutting classes. She has cooking classes. So we're actually engaging. We having people come out and do that type of stuff. But we're just pressing on, trying to get more kids involved. We actually got two sponsors, local sponsors that donated $3,500 towards the new baseball fields. That's to go toward bat cages and stuff like that. And we're actually actively out getting sponsorships for the new ball fields. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jett.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Reed?
Morning, everyone. So for the street department, I know my department's been a very hot topic lately, but as of yesterday, yard debris is fully back on track and on schedule. Everything is caught up. And so we're fully caught up and back on schedule with yard debris as of yesterday. We closed the business, and we're intending on remaining on track. Residential garbage pickup, it's been on track this whole time. And there was a slight hiccup there at first with it due to trucks being down, but luckily enough, when I came to the door back in April, we were able to gain a truck from Timmons Waste Service. We purchased it. Then recycling, we're currently conducting, I'm doing an internal study on recycling, because as of today, recycling is costing the city roughly $30,000 a year to run. We make no profit off of recycling, so that could be revenue that we can put in elsewhere throughout the department, throughout the city. A few projects that's underway is here in the next 1 to 2 years. We're looking at repaving Lee Street. Most of you may not know, but Lee Street is actually owned by the state. It's a state road, with the exception of one block. That very last little block, right there to Pine Street. That's the only portion of Lee Street that the city actually owns. So DOT's gonna be paving Lee Street, and whenever they start that process, they're gonna be bidding out next month. We're looking at possibly tying in with their contractor to finish up that whole block that we purchased, or that we own. Next on the list will be Magnolia, as well as Roanoke, in the very near future. And then looking at possibly Coker Street. We currently have fairly good work relationships with the city of Hartsville. I know when we were putting up the snowflakes all along Main Street, some of you have seen the city of Hartsville's bucket truck, putting them up and taking them down. Which by doing that, we were able to speed that process up and have it completed to only a half a day, whereas normally it would take us 2 days, and we'd have to rent the equipment for 2 days worth of rental. So we save profit there. We've got SCDOT on board assisting us with some of their streets. What we've been doing is we utilize our equipment. They furnish the product, asphalt, cement, so on. So it's saving the city money. And then the same thing with Southeastern Railway. I know a lot of complaints came in about Washington Street, railroad crossing right there, how horrible it was. Now it's much better. The railroad came out, they furnished sewn hands, but they furnished all material. We utilize our equipment, and we're on schedule to each summer do at least one railroad crossing throughout the city each summer, utilizing that same procedure. And as of right now, that's all I've got for you.
Mr.
Of course.
Shuhart?
While we're there, I want to, when you talk about the railroad crossing, what I get, when are we going to get to the railroad crossing of Darlington? You understand where you're going? Okay, coming
Yes,
on
ma'am.
across. I know we did Washington Street, but that goes all the way. And Darlington Street seems to be
Yes,
where I'm
ma'am.
getting the most complaints in now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I'll discuss that with them when I hold my next meeting and see if I can get a time frame.
He said that was on the schedule, but he didn't say when.
Yes, ma'am.
It is on the schedule, so I can tell them that it is on the schedule.
Yes, ma'am. And this coming week, we're gonna be doing intersection inspections as well. So it's something that we have to do each year by DOT standards. We have to go out and inspect. We've got 3 railroad crossings that we have to inspect, make sure it's safe for the citizens. make sure all the crossing signs, there's a few of them where there's supposed to be stop signs that they're missing. And so if you see us out there cutting limbs and trees along the railroad, it's that time of year.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the utility director. My name is Charles Stewart. I direct 4 departments and 6 different divisions. Those are water treatment, water distribution, sewer collection, sewer treatment, customer service, and stormwater. Since 2021, the city has been blessed with awards from CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, South Carolina Rural Infrastructure Authority, and others to complete nearly $10 million in sewer collection system projects and 1 small sewer treatment plant project. We got a lot more work to go in those areas as well as others to bring the system into compliance and to make it safe and to keep our water and sewer rates low. I want to bring y'all's attention to this flyer. There's at least 2 or 3 on every table. And if someone needs one, I'll find you one. This is concerning pump stations and the trash that we're receiving in pump stations. We're being overwhelmed by garbage in our wet wells. Wet wells is for the holes where the pumps are located for our sewer pump stations. We're still receiving a lot of what are known as flushable wipes. Those are not flushable, by the way, and they collect together and make bowling ball sized clogs in our sewer lines that stop up our sewer pumps. We have 1 pump station that was completely rebuilt with new pumps and controls and a new wet well less than 2 years ago, and we have had to pump out that pumping station with a contractor because we don't have the equipment to pump out the pump station, and to rent other equipment to pull the pumps out because we don't have the equipment to pull the pumps out on 5 different occasions in less than 2 years. That should be at most an annual preventive maintenance item that's done by the city and the city's sewer department on an annual basis to keep those systems working, and we've done it 5 times in 2 years. The things we're finding in these pump stations are not just those flushable wipes, but every type of garbage imaginable, from clothing to cut up mop and broom handles to utensils and just you name it. Now I've listed a few here, but I can't tell you all of the things that we have pulled out of these pumps and these pump stations and sewer lines. And down there, only feed, poo, and toilet paper should go in there. Anything that's just produced by the human body and toilet paper should go into your toilet, please. And y'all tell your neighbors and everybody else. At the bottom of this thing, I did a impromptu rate study of just some folks in the area in our sister city, Hartsville, in the same county as us, with nearly the same population and demographics, are just a little bit higher than us, but by resolution, by city law, they increased their water rates by 3% a year. And on July the 1st of this year, they will be at $34.85 for 4,999 gallons of water. Real quickly, the 4,999 gallons of water is from the American Water Works Association, which they claim the people in this area use an average of 642 or 624, I may have that mixed up, cubic feet of water. And you've got to calculate 7.48 gallons times 624, 648 cubic feet to equal actually 496 gallons of water. And I just rounded it up to 4,999 to compare everybody's rates to the same amount of water. The one at the bottom there, Sherrall, and the reason why I put Sherrall in there was Sherrall had the lowest water rate in the state for 10 years. And everybody wondered how they did that. 4 years ago, their city manager retired and they increased rates by 20%. The year after that, they increased rates by 10%. They had to. They weren't rebuilding their system and keeping up with maintenance. Last year, they raised their rates again by 20%. Now, if you amortize that, that looks like 50% if you just add them up. 20, 20, and 10, it looks like 50%. It's actually over 60%. And this week, the city of Sherrall's city council was at a retreat, might have been last week, this week or last week, and they're considering a 25% rate increase for this year. And they're already higher than us. We've got to keep up with maintenance. We absolutely need the equipment to continue or to begin doing the annual maintenance to the sewer system that was never done here in Darlington. We also need some upgrades in the water system. The filters on our water treatment plants are 40 years old. 40 years old. And they need to be replaced. Our elevated tanks are under contract now, and they should stay in good shape. However, our groundwater tanks are not. And we're making a repair this week, and at the same time, we're gonna drain one of those, and we'll make an inspection of one of those, and we'll be able to tell you all what condition that's in. We have some other areas that need funding, and two of those are replacement of antiquated sewer lines. We know that we've got at least 6 or 7 sewer lines that can fail at any given time and cost the city $500,000 to $1 million apiece. One of those is Wood Street, where we recently made a repair. We were able to get our camera in on one side of the sewer line, but not the other from that repair. That line is over 800 feet long in that block. And to give you an idea, we replaced 537 feet on each broad at a cost of a little over $500,000 when we had the sinkhole that came from Hurricane Idalia. That's been a year and a half ago. And we've got more of those. Another area that's going to need funding in the near future and is rapidly coming at us are the abandonment of all of our metal water lines in town. The reason why is there practically is no metal anywhere that doesn't have a little bit of lead in it. And back in the 70s, when I got in this business, we measured things in parts per million. 1 part to 1,000,000 parts. And we did that fairly accurately. We were in the 90th percentile. In the 80s, we started measuring things in the parts per billion, 1 part to 1,000,000,000 parts. We were 300% off, plus or minus. So that meant absolutely nothing. Nowadays, we are measuring things in the parts per trillion. And we got that in the 90th percentile. So with that small an increment, they can find lead in practically any metal. Now, the city has a lot of plastic water lines. They were installed in the 60s, but they did not abandon their metal water lines. They left those in place. A lot of those are not mapped. They are not known. Whenever we dig up a leak or repair to a service or installation of a service, we find these all the time. We found 2 down on South Main Street this week, and it's not uncommon for us. We dug up a little small leak down there near a laundromat that's out of business right now. And we found a 2-inch water line that we thought was the one that was leaking. We knew that it was in that area. We didn't know exactly where it was, but we knew it was in that area. However, we found a 1-inch water line that had pressure on it that was in that area that was the one that was leaking, that nobody had any maps on. And they're probably, these things are going to be extremely hard to figure out where they are and what they are and who's connected to them. Now, this is going to take several years, and it's way out in the future. It's going to have to be funded either through grant money or some other projects, and there are no grant monies right now out for lead removal. Actually, there are. The state has about $5 million to do the whole state. I think the city of Darlington could do more than $5 million just in its city limits. So, as these things are done, they're going to be expensive. And also what we're going to do, what they're going to do, and what anybody else would do is find these metal lines and cut them off on both ends and take them out of service. And let's just hope nobody on that area or in that area runs out of water. If they do, then we'll have to make them a tap as soon as possible, like ASAP, like that day. But I have no other way that I know of to abandon these lines. And that'll be out in the future. It's not happening tomorrow. It won't happen this year, probably. But that's all I have for right now.
Mr. Thomas. Thank you, Mr. Shugo.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all get your questions ready, and the department heads will answer in just a moment. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, my name is Hunter Thomas. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. I was born and raised here in Darlington. I was hired a little less than a year ago in April to come work for the city. So I'm the Public and Community Affairs Director. I do all the social media. I work with the company on our website. I host the events and assist council in any way that they need. So since I came in April, our content interaction on our Facebook is going up about 3,500%. So that's really good. That means people are clicking and looking and liking what they're seeing. When it comes to events, the first event that I hosted was the Darlington Car Hauler Parade. We had Andy and Onita come and sing, and it's all good. And I think that went really well, considering that Florence Motor Speedway had a race that night that had Dale Earnhardt Jr. racing in it, so everyone was out there looking at that. And then also Florence After 5 was that same night. So this year, we're going to look to advertise it a bit earlier, make it bigger and better. As we went into the fall, I assisted the Recreation Department with their Scare on the Square. That looked really good. That's the first time I've ever been there. Looked really, really good. And then, of course, you saw all the Christmas lights. That was a vision of City Council and the Mayor. We installed 20,000 feet of 80,000 plus Christmas lights just in Wells Park. And we hosted photos with Santa. We had a movie night there. All of that was attended very, very well. A couple hundred people came to both events. And then, of course, the Beautification Board lit up part of the square as well. And they put the snowflake lights. So going into this year, we're hopefully going to do even more Christmas or holiday decorations as well. So look forward to that come the winter. And then one thing I'm working on this spring is a concert series. Right now I'm talking to two bands that were on their schedule. I don't really want to announce anything yet because we haven't signed any paper with them. But they're really good bands. And we're going to host concerts in 3 different areas. On April 12th, we're going to have a concert for our opening night at the new ball fields. And then also on May 10th, we're going to have a concert out at Virgil Wells Stadium. And then June 13th, which is a Friday, we're going to have a big concert on the public square. We chose a Friday so that our local businesses would be able to take advantage of that opportunity as well. And then one big project that I would like to take on this upcoming budget year is a new website in some form or fashion. But those are expensive, so we'll have to see how the budget turns out. But that's something that we desperately need right now. But other than that, I appreciate the opportunity, and please don't ever hesitate to reach out. If you go on our Facebook page right now, one of the top posts is our new newsletter. It's a digital newsletter. You can click on that and you'll be able to subscribe, and we send that out monthly. Also, we send out that printed newsletter as well that comes in the utility bill. But anytime you know of any events or anything that you'd like to see covered, please reach out to me. That's hthomas@cityofdarlington.com. That's HTHOMAS@cityofdarlington.com.
Tell them about the new link that you've got there too.
Yes, so this QR code that you see right here, this will take you to the contact page on our website, but if you fill out that form on there, that message will be sent right now to all the directors, but eventually we're going to get it set up to where if you need something with streets, so we go to street, water, go to water, so on and so forth. But right now, you can leave us an issue or concern or a nice message. We love nice messages too. Yeah, help us out. Tell us what you think.
Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you.
I want to just say a little bit about what he just mentioned. Y'all did a wonderful job. Thank you to the directors. Do I need to play?
Yes.
One of the things we want to do is to find a way that everybody can be satisfied. That doesn't happen all the time. But I want you to give the directors their opportunity to correct whatever issue it may be. And this contact form is a great way to communicate. The onus is we need the data. We need to know where the trouble spots are. You know, he just happily, say, hey, I'm the hot topic, and that was a hot topic, but we are doing our best to make sure our yard debris is not a hot topic next year. But we don't know when things will break down, and we don't know when we'll have people out of service, and things have to be out of service. I said that to say, give the department heads an opportunity to serve you or to resolve any issues you may have with service delivery. And as he said, don't be shy with the accolades and praise when they do a good job. I know they're not all doing bad. So we want that to be a balanced response, if you will, and feedback. The things that we do well, let us know that. Praise us to perfection, if you would. I do believe in that. I don't believe in knocking you down because you won't, we need to give each other an opportunity to empower each other to do better and to get better. And they're here for you. Some of these people have served for 30 and 40 and 45 years. They've been here a long time, and they're sticking with you to serve you. So please give them that opportunity. Give the department heads an opportunity to resolve your issue before you take other steps. And I won't say what those other steps are, but please do that. Please, ma'am, please serve. We are here to serve you. And I'm going to see what we got next. And he said the department heads, but I'm also copied on that. So I'll see when you send communications through the website, okay? And I will be able to follow up with you personally and see, did they handle your situation and resolve your concerns? So we have a lot of eyes on at this point. We might not even change it. When you were talking about that, I said, well, why not let it be there? Because they're peers. They're working with each other to serve you. And that's what we want to do. We want to come together and work together. I'm finished right now. There were some more questions from the council.
Yeah.
And as soon as they ask their questions, if you would stand, we'll bring the mic to you to ask your questions, okay? In the public discussion part.
This is for Utility Joe. You were very good in explaining, because you get so many complaints about that water bill and some of the services that we do get. So I want to thank you for being so detailed as to how you're trying to work things out. But what I wanted to find out and have you comment about, one of the things that you're saying, when you came in, there was no guideline. There was no thing for you to follow. So a lot of times as different things happen, that's how you go out and begin to find. And you and I have had this conversation so many times, and outlining a map, a system to the system in Darlington, being able to forecast, as a lack of a better word, as to where we're going to find these problems. Now you have outlined that about the steel water line. That's something that is most significant. And you can comment as to how you're doing this, setting out some kind of guideline, some kind of map. So when you're not here or what you're working on, and when it comes, someone else will be able to follow this. This is what is happening. So we won't be in this shape forever. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We have accurate maps of the plastic water lines in the city of Darlington. Those were completed in the 60s. However, prior to that, we don't. So as we dig up these metal water lines or other water lines that we find, and sewer lines that we find, we map them as well. We bought some devices several years ago that accurately pinpoint their locations with longitude and latitude. And nowadays, you can actually go on your phone if you have the minutes and seconds of latitude of any location. You can go to within 3 feet of that. So that's pretty close. And we're also we hired somebody last year to help out with records and archives, and to organize our maps and scan them in digitally. And we're doing that. We're still in the process of doing that, but we still add to them all the time. At the same time, we can't go out in the city of Darlington and dig up every street, because that's actually what it would take to find every metal water line and every sewer line and every other water line, sewer line in the city of Darlington. We'd have to dig up every street and every sidewalk. So, and we all know we can't afford that. And so this act of discovery, I want to call it, of finding this, what we call a phantom line, is going to continue as long as we have a water system and sewer system. But we're doing what we can to map the ones that we discover as we find them. And we have a good set of maps. We have several of them. And all of our operators have a copy of the map. We have a water map and a sewer map. And we find discrepancies on it all the time. But remember, there are a lot of phantom lines out there. And we're getting to it. We're working through them. I hope I answered.
Water Department, my question would be, because I'm getting a lot of questions. The lift station over on Allen Street is a brand new lift station. Supposedly, 4 or 5 months ago, lightning hit the lift station. And now we have a temporary pump in that lift station. Question would be, what is the status? And why is this not repaired yet?
Well, actually, it's a Duke Power problem. We didn't know it, but we spoke to Brent Legit and Lee Andrews since that pump station went out. They had experienced problems at that gymnasium for several years. One side of the gymnasium or the other, their HVAC equipment goes out pretty often. What we did was we contacted Duke Power, of course, right away. Their system is antiquated. And it does handle the voltage. It does have 3-phase power. However, their old system, whenever they have some sort of power problem, drops one leg of the 3-phase power. Well, we have protection devices on the pump station itself that trip the pump station out. That happened 150 times in the first 3 months that pump station was put into operation after the repairs. And we tried to get them out there. We just recently came to resolution with them and the engineers and the contractors and everybody on how to go forward from here. So we should see some repairs to that electrical system from Duke Power pretty soon. Now, everything that I've ever done with Duke Power takes 3 weeks for them just to turn off some power, and it takes 3 weeks for them to turn it back on. I'm having that over at Brockington Pump Station right now. And they're about to install, or they have installed, a temporary electrical power to Brockington. And they told me this week that it would be 3 weeks before we get it turned on. And I told them, I said, well, we're going to repair this thing fairly quick. 6, 8, 10 weeks. I said, and then we're going to need to turn it right back on. Well, you let us know right then, and we'll be out there 3 weeks after that. So that's the kind of service we're getting from Duke Power. So that problem at Allen Street Pump Station originated at Duke Power and their antiquated transformer plant. That's the short answer.
So at the end of the day, it wasn't struck by lightning?
I can't hear you. At the end of the day, it was what?
It was not struck by lightning.
Oh, it probably was, yes ma'am, but the pump station itself went out or had power go down to drop one phase of the 3-phase power 150 times in this 3 months after construction. And that was due to Duke Power's antiquated transformers. Everything that's happened over there is due to Duke Power's antiquated transformers, not the construction of the pump station.
So they wasn't having the same problem before they put in a new lift station? Before we put in the new system, that lift station was not having that same problem before?
The electrical power.
So we didn't know about it before we put the new equipment in?
No, we didn't have those. We had to go out from time to time, not 150 times in 3 months. No, ma'am, we did not.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, the old pump station that was there did not have the same kind of power requirements as the new pump station, nor did it have the protection, nor did it have the variable speed controls. When we install pump stations now, our funding people, and that one was funded through, I think through RIA, they require us to have some green, what I'll call green type devices. And one of those is a variable speed pump, which is installed there. Now, what we had in there before was not. What we had in there before was just a pump that would come on and pump down the pump station and go off. Now what we have is a pump that will come on at different speeds for the amount of flow that's going into the pump station. And that's to save power. So the devices and the electrical devices and all of the electrical systems in this pump station are different than the old-timey pump station that was there. So the old-timey pump station that was there would just come on, pump it down, and go off whenever it got low. So it's completely different than what it was.
So, do we have any questions from the citizens? I'd like to hear from you all.
I think we signed up, didn't we?
You did?
Yes,
Okay.
I missed the sign-up sheet.
All right. Madam Clerk, do we have sign-up sheet to speak?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, she's bringing that. How about we do a couple of door prizes?
All right, we're gonna break for some door prizes. As Pastor said, the bathrooms are out there in the hallway. I think he said to the right if you need to take a break. And we'll break for about, while council member has her time for door prizes. Get your questions ready, okay?
Do you want us to sign up to ask the questions?
Yes.
Yes, please. If you'll see clerk treasurer prison, she'll get you.
Everyone have a red ticket? If you did not get one, certainly get your red ticket if you have some door prizes. Appreciate it.
Just pass it around.
Appreciate you taking time out here to come out this morning and actually participating in local government. Thank you. It's not just about going to the ballot box, although that is very important. It's also about being involved in our legislative. Need some help over there? Good. A quick prize, the last 4 digits. Whoever's holding 5724. Ticket number 5724. We've got a nice Valentine's Day basket for you. 5724. Going once. No one? No one? Okay, let's try again. Let's try 5739. Who's holding ticket number 5739? That's the last 4 digits of your ticket. 5739. All right, come on, come forward. Here's a nice Valentine's Day basket for you. Yes, ma'am. And let's see. Ticket number 5723. Ticket 5723. Holding 5723. Give a nice call. 5723. We'll try again. 5723. Let's go for 5741. Who's holding? Okay, same table. All right. They're holding. Ticket 5727. 5727. Who's holding 5727? We'll go, we'll try again. Ticket 5745. 5745. Yes. Okay.
Good morning, how are you? I'm gonna leave it.
Ticket 5721. 5721. 5721. First line step. 5722.
You're kidding.
Okay, 5722. Will you need the nice call? How about that? Okay, we'll finish these up. Now 5740. Oh, what? 5740. 5740. World North. Our last two, 5738. Ticket number 5738.
Karen, what's your number? 573.
Well, here you are. And our very last project is ticket 5728. 5728.
That's the same sheet. I think it's bad, I don't have a ticket.
728. 5728. 5736.
Right here.
All right. Well, that's all I asked for. So thank you all so much again for coming out and letting us participate.
I have my own Facebook page. You're welcome.
You're selling the utility, both the water and sewer system, possibly to one of our next nearest neighbors. Darlington County Water or Sewer Authority, possibly the city of Florence. There's another player involved, Grand Strand Water and Sewer Authority, that moved inland some years ago and bought Marion's water system. And from what I understand, they paid $30 million for Marion's water system. However, Marion's water and sewer system, that is, Marion's sewer system has an NPDES permit, that's a National Pollution Discharge Elimination System permit, to put over 30 million gallons of sewage into the PD River. So what they're actually purchasing is that NPDES permit. Now, I know the people that used to run Marion's system, and that lady over there was a board member of the South Carolina Rural Water Association for 30 years. Without a doubt, they got every giveaway program there was first, because she was in the know, you know. All right. So they laid sewer lines as quickly as they could from the beach to Marion. And if you go down through there, you can see all the development that's happened between the beach or the coast and the city of Marion. One of the recent purchases was Little River Water and Sewer Company, a special purpose district out there at the end of the state of South Carolina, just above Cherry Grove. They had about 6,000 customers. And they sold that to Grand Strand Water and Sewer Authority, and every customer on Little River Water and Sewer Authority got a check for $350. There you go. Now, either their base rate is going to go up now, and the rate per thousand is going to go down, or vice versa. And remember, Grand Strand Water and Sewer Authority serves water all over Erie County and Marion County and into Florence County now, and up to Dillon. So anything goes wrong in that system, Marion, as well as Little River Water and Sewer Company are going to share in those expenses. So that would be a con for us. If you all work to sell, you're going to be at the benevolence of whoever buys your water and sewer system. And I could go on and on and on. We could talk for a whole day about all the cons. The pros to selling the water system is we wouldn't have this. We wouldn't have any questions or concerns about it anymore. It'd all be completely out of the hands of the city. No one would have any comments about water and sewer ever again. Now, would that help the city of Darlington? Would it actually be a pro? It is. It may relax some of the tensions and frustrations and stress over the water and sewer system. Would that bring more development to Darlington, which it absolutely needs? Possibly. That's a question rather than, and that may be a pro too. And I could go on and on and on and talk all day long about the pros of this thing. Prior to my arrival, I think that you had obsolescence in your sewer collection system, and without a doubt, you got some in your water treatment and distribution system. So I don't know that you actually had value in either one. You probably have some value in your water system. Your sewer system doesn't have any, and didn't have any in 21. It may be balancing now. Someone else would have to be a better judge of that than me, because I'm sort of prejudiced toward the city of Darlington because we're doing a lot of work here. But if you all were to sell this system, And in my opinion, as a certified general real estate appraiser, which I have been for 30 years, and I know a little something about values, I would be shocked if y'all got more than $1,000 a tap. That's $3 million. But you would have to pay off everything that you ever owed on the system. And I don't think that you would be able to give every customer a $1,000 check. So that's my opinion of it. Now, other people would need to study that and give you a different opinion, I'm sure. But like I said, we could talk all day long. These guys need to really debate that. They really need to think about that. If they got rid of the system, there would be no more complaints. No more complaints whatsoever. You would not be able to criticize anybody in the city for water and sewer ever again. That's huge. That is huge.
I disagree with that to a certain point, because 5 years or 10 years from now, they would criticize this council and this mayor for selling it, because then I do agree with you that there would be no, we couldn't discuss it, because I have, in my Marion gym, I paid Grand Strand Water, and I had a flat that was loose on my toilet. He gave me my one toilet in this one section over here. I only have one toilet in the building. Usually runs about $40-something, was $500-something that month. And there was nobody to complain to, nobody called. When you did call, they said that's a maintenance thing that you should take care of, and I had to pay $500. Again, you're talking to another big monster giant out there wants you to sell your system. So.
My customer service ladies, every morning when they come in, they get notices from our meter reading system that anybody that's had continuous usage overnight, we contact the customers in the city of Darlington and let them know that they possibly have a leak in their system somewhere. At some point, a lot of those people go out and repair their systems and contact us and let us know, and maybe get our water distribution crew involved, and we go out and we help them however we can. However, a lot of people just disregard that thing. And at some point, you just got to stop notifying them, because you notify them for 30 days, for 60 days. And it's the same notification every time, and it costs money to do so. And if you're just going to disregard it and not do anything about it, we aren't going to continue to tell you that you got your leak. But we do what we can with that every day. Talk 5 days a week.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
He needs to keep it.
Keep
He
it.
needs to keep it.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
For the directors.
no,
We've got about
what
3
we're
or
gonna
4
do
more
is ask all the water questions now,
Oh, okay.
so there's quite a few more, sir.
Awesome.
And if it's something that you need to get back to them, Mr. Shugart, we can take their name and number and get back to them. Who's next?
We're gonna go back here with Miss Gloria Hines.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Mr. Sugar, how many water hydrants are not working properly? Are not working at all?
We have a list of 65 or 67 fire hydrants that are not to fire department standards at this time. We put together a project. It was one of the first projects I put together for the fire department, and we applied for grant money to complete a project, and somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.3 million to bring all of those hydrants up to what I'm going to call fire department standards. We were denied that application. We wrote it into our SKIP grant application. We were denied there also. We have right now on the works this week, the mayor and I, and Mr. Hawkins is informed, that we're going to discuss this with someone else and try to get some more funding. We have had discussions with community development block grant folks, and we feel like we can replace 40 with community development block grant, which is going to be $800,000, $900,000 worth of repairs. But we're still going to have to come up with another $500,000 or $600,000 to complete the whole project. We have had discussions with RIA, but we've applied with RIA now twice to do this project and been denied both times, so we don't feel like that effort has any merit anymore. but we're asking some other people for appropriations. I really can't go into that. That's somewhat confidential at this point because we don't have any numbers or anything else to tell you all. But we're looking at receiving some funding and going ahead together and putting together a community development block grant and get it that much further down the road. And if we do, it's going to require help from the fire department, some others, maybe Miss Reed and some others, possibly Miss Backus, if she'll help us get out the questionnaires and get them back to CDBG, to the Department of Commerce in a timely manner and get the application. We received a list from Pat just a few months ago that had about a dozen of them that were black bagged or black capped or whatever they call them, that didn't work. And we repaired 7 of those and got those operational at fire department standards. We've got 3 of those 12, I'm going to say it's 12, I think that might be the correct number. Okay. 3 of them we've got taken apart. They're sitting in my shop right now, our shop, the water and sewer shop, waiting on parts. These older fire hydrants, parts for them they're not obsolete. You can get them, but it takes forever to get them. And the city council approved the purchase of 12 fire hydrants several months ago, and we have ordered those, and they're on back order, and we have reordered them, and we talked to them Tuesday. Yesterday? We talked to them again yesterday? Good. We talked to them Tuesday, and we talked to them yesterday. We're ready to get those hydrants in place, you know. And we've got some hydrants that look bad. They're tilted over, that were hit by a car or truck years ago. They still work, just like they're supposed to, but they look pretty bad. And I'll give you one for instance. There's one beside Napa in that, what used to be a service station right there. There's a big giant oak tree right there. And there's a fire hydrant right in the base of that tree, but it's tilted over a little bit. It works fine. It works right up to fire department standards, but it's tilted over a little bit, which is not to standard. But to replace that fire hydrant, we have to cut down this big giant oak tree, tear up the whole sidewalk street there for, I think it's what, Buchanan Street? I think is that Buchanan Street? I don't know, one's right beside Napa. Earl in front, we have to dig it up, or one's right beside Earl Street. Okay. We'd have to dig all that out. That's not a good option. When we replace these hydrants, what I'd like to do, with their permission, is to form over them, pour concrete over them, and then just install a new fire hydrant just a few feet away. And now that's the most economical way to do it. But then again, we got $1.5 million worth of them to do. We got to find some funding to do that. And we've done a good job.
Do you have a listing of the ones that are not working? If so, I would like to get one.
Okay, yes ma'am, they have a list. Now, it's not that they're not working.
Okay.
They're working, a lot of them, most all of them are working. They're just not working to fire department standards. And I don't know the pressure in gallons per minute that has to meet that standard or whatever it is, but most all of them work, they just don't work to the fire department standard. Okay, but he has a list and I have a list.
If I had a big fire on my street, the fire hydrant, like a house down from me, is that one working?
I can't tell you. I don't know where you are. I don't know your street. And you're going to have to ask Pat. Pat's going to have to look at his list, I think.
Okay, mine on there.
Yours actually tested out the standards for us. Now, I want you to understand, some of the hydrants we have on the list were hit by cars and are missing stuff.
Yeah.
I do understand this part. For Mr. Charles. To put a hydrant back in a valve that's already there, it has to be the same type of valve. You cannot mix valves, so that's the problem. Some of them are just small leaks that we have to get to. Some of them are old potbelly hydrants. If you go around Hampton Street, you see the little potbelly hydrants with 2 valves. It doesn't meet our standards anymore. Some of those have to be torn up. But the problem I do understand also is some of these hydrants, well, probably 80% of them don't have a valve. When you have a valve, if you cut the valve off, it's easy to work on the hydrant because the water is shut off. The ones that do not have the valve requires a hot tap. And when the companies come in and do that, they charge extra for that, correct? $5,000 a hot tap.
If we do a valve insertion, it adds $20,000 if we do a valve insertion, it's gonna add $20,000 to the cost of the hydrant. And a lot of them are on 4-inch legs. In other words, there's a 4-inch pipe coming to the hydrant instead of a 6-inch pipe. Again, not standard. And a lot of them, that street does not have a 6-inch line on it. So we've got to dig not just the fire hydrant up to the middle of the street, but all the way to the next street to bring the 6-inch line over to here and then repave all of these streets and sidewalks. So that could take a fire hydrant replacement cost of $60,000, $80,000 a month.
Okay, we're only gonna be able to allot 5 minutes for the question and the response. Okay, who's next, Mr.
Ms. Joyce Thomas.
Only 5 minutes for the question and the response because we want everybody to have their opportunity, okay?
Good morning. I am Joyce Thomas. I serve on Darlington County Council. And I have about 10 things. That's okay. It will not be question and answer. And I'm just writing things down. So when I bring this up, I would like for the city and the county to have a regular meeting sometime, maybe every 2 months, every 3 months. And I think we could iron out a lot of these problems and concerns. And especially because the questions, the problems are in the district that I represent. I've been in my house for 30 years. And I've been on county council 9 years. Well, actually, this will be my 9th year. School board for 8 years. You see, I'm all in this. But I want to commend you all on hiring Ms. Hawkins. You always progress when you do things a little different sometimes. And I am so elated to where we're going in the city and also the county. And if you know me, I kind of speak my heart and speak what I have to say. We are on the go into a progressive phase now. And I like it, and I don't mind standing up and telling you. Like I say, I'm gonna speak my heart. And I'm excited, Mr. Mayor. I'm really excited. The water problem, we're gonna get that straightened out, and I'll tell you why. In the district that I represent, I have a lot of people, I say a lot, but a number of folks that's on dialysis. And that's paramount. We need good water, good working water and all that. And another thing I would like for the city to do is let the folks know, and I don't know if you all have a list, it could be privacy in reference to health reasons and things of that nature, but I know a lot of the folks that are on dialysis. When the lights go off or you have an emergency, I think about those people. I get telephone calls, and I know some of you all do too. But we're on the move. I'm not gonna say anything. Let's see, I got one more thing, and I know my 5 minutes will be up. In reference to infrastructure, the water, sewer, things of that nature, not all that, but streets, are we going to keep on with the street signs, or how are we going to do that? People looking for information, a lot of them don't know about the new 911 system, things of that nature. Also, I'm going to talk just 1 minute about the seniors. We need to make sure that the seniors are in tune to all this AI, technology. They don't know about all that. And I walk out and I see seniors. My district is actually composed of a lot of seniors. And that's the way the world is actually going, the population is mostly seniors. But just don't forget about the seniors here. And I would like to also just say we need to get together, county and the city together. We got dilapidated swimming pool and all that type of stuff. Let's clean it up. And I appreciate you all. Mr. Mayor, I feel very positive that we're going to get some things done. Put us on y'all agenda sometime, and I'll ask the administrator for the county to do the same thing. Thank you all so much. This was great. We need more of them. Thank you.
The next person, I can't quite read the name. It might be Ernestine. They live on Clinton Circle.
That's me. Out loud voice. So I don't do that. Thank you.
My issue is with the water department. As of this morning, you know, I've been on Flint Circle, and ever since I've been here, there has been a problem with the water. This is what I got, and I just want to show you an example. I called, they have cleaned, but this is how my water is coming out. So, you tell me, explain to me, please, I call and they'll come and flush it out, but I still end up with water like this. This is my problem with that. Say about an increase, but an increase, and if I'm getting water still like this doesn't do me any good. I'm buying water, I'm boiling my water because of water that I'm getting out of my house like this. Like I said, he came and he said he flushed it, but I'm still having the same problem. Also, at my mother's house, she's at 206 B Avenue. She's 90 years old. Her water bill keeps going up. We had the plumber to come. He checked under the lines. She had new lines and stuff put under there. Her bill is going up. It keeps going up every month. She's a senior citizen, 90 years old. How much water do you think she's really using? This is what I'm saying. It keeps going up for different reasons. And I heard you say about Darlington, because that's the side I'm living on. Yeah. You said something about Darlington on that side. The water pressure on that side, a lot of people, they're not here, but they complain about the water pressure is low, very low. So we have those problems that we have, that I've been coming and I've been talking, and it's still the same, I'm still in the same predicament. I just like to know some kind of relief or something that's going on, that you shouldn't have this kind of water. I know there's issues, there's problems, but at this point, this shouldn't be, even got bugs in it. And this is no lie, this came from my house this morning. This is why I check my water. People don't check, they open their friskets and screw that thing and check their water, and this is what comes out. I pay attention to my house. So, this is what I'm just saying. So, I'm just like, if you're talking about going up, at least have something where it's better than this. Right? I want better service than what I'm getting. Go ahead.
I agree with you. We have a schedule of flushing. We can add you to that and increase the amount of flushing done in your area. We can absolutely do that. There should not be any bugs in that water. I will send somebody to your house this next week to collect a bacteriological sample along with a chlorine sample. If there's chlorine in your water, which it should be, there should not be anything living in your water. If you got something living in your, and we test the system all over the system every month, and we know that we have never ever had a positive bacteriological sample, and we've certainly never had any bugs living in it because we've got chlorine in it. We've got at least a half part of chlorine. Nothing can live in that environment at the bacteriological stage. So I will send somebody there to collect a sample. And before you leave, please give Jonathan Boatwright your phone number, if you will. He'll give it to our customer service department that will look into your mother's issue, if you'll give us the address and all, and also your address so that we can increase the schedule of flushing in your area. When I got here, we were flushing 36 million gallons of water from the system per month. We were only selling 28 million. We had some areas that were being flushed weekly, and we stopped doing that. And we asked people, if you've got bad water, let us know, we'll start flushing it. And since then, we've increased those schedules, and we've created a different schedule, because we noticed that some areas were being flushed once a week, and some areas weren't being flushed at all. So we are trying to get it all the way across the system, and the flushing schedule that we have is called unidirectional, in that we flush the whole system. If for some reason your area is not part of that, we'll certainly add it to it, and we'll increase the schedule of flushing.
Could I just, right along with that, I just want to know, would you say, what's causing that? If that has anything to do with those steel pipes that you're talking about?
It could.
I mean,
pipes may leak some metal into the water. It's probably that all of the groundwater in this area, and I don't mean just Darlington, I mean all the way from the coast to McBee, from McCall all the way to practically Columbia. all of this whole area has iron in the water. And once it enters the water system, it rusts, and it looks like that. And it'll be in parts per trillion, which can't be filtered anyway. And it'll settle in pockets in the water system. Anywhere there's a turn in a water line, a 90-degree turn, or a valve that has a intrusion into the water line, sediment collects behind it. Even though this water's under pressure, as it stops, people stop using it in the middle of the night, it settles right in that area where that intrusion is or that turn is. And when we flush it all out of that. Sometimes we get it all out, sometimes we don't. So hopefully we'll just increase our schedule and probably and hope to get it all out.
Yes, okay.
I'm done there.
You're done. Thank you. As far as I know.
Thank you.
Rosa Hudson.
I have a few questions, not much, but thank you for, I'm one of the ones that was calling up your office a whole lot a while back,
Yes, ma'am.
but I wasn't being nasty.
Oh,
Not
you're
straight.
great. My secretary told me every time you call.
Yeah, so I was so glad to come on the other day and saw that you had gotten the debris out of the yard, so thank you for that. My question too is about the recycling. Now, what are you saying about the recycling?
Yes, ma'am. So right now, we are operating on every 2 weeks for recycling. But we've been doing a cost analysis. So it's currently, recycling is a free service offered to the citizens. It's not included in your sanitation bill. I've finally located old flyers whenever the city first started recycling. That will be going out here soon, reminding everyone, but it clearly states on that flyer that it is a free service offered to the citizens. But whenever we started up with this cost analysis, it's costing the city roughly $30,000 a year, so annually, to run recycling. Because we have to take all recycling that we do and take it clear to Sunoco, where Sunoco charges us for bringing the recycled products to them. Then you factor in cost of fuel for the trucks, and the man hours for the employees to do the recycling. So at this point in time, it's not cost effective, I guess you'd say. That $30,000 could be used for maintenance and equipment, upkeep on vehicles, because that's been a very hot topic for our vehicles breaking down. So that'll be revenue that we could use to keep all services up and running.
So you're saying that if you put the recycling in a regular trash can from now on?
Not right now. Not right now.
Yeah, you can work on it.
We're doing like a trial and error to see what's going to work best.
Okay. And I'd like to thank the police department too for the crime has been going down in my area on Jeffrey Street. I would still like to see more police presence, coming through the area. Also, my water outside is brown too. I live over there in Ernestine, and council, I'm asking that you do is to act on some of the concerns that the citizens bring forward to you, and give them some kind of resolution. And one question is, why is the the museum is not open on Saturday? Darlington County Museum.
County council ladies, y'all want to take that one?
I didn't realize that. I think they have standing hours.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
No.
If I know the answer, I'll let you know, but it's standard hours and you have to, I'll check them.
Well, it's during the week and a lot of people work and they can't get there till Saturday.
That's what, I just said that about seniors and things like that, but I'll check on it for you.
They are looking at trying to be open at least one Saturday a month.
That's what I
So
was
give me your telephone number and I'll get back with you, no problem.
One more time, follow up. Thank you, Ms. Hudson. On the recycling, is there not, I'm not on that?
I don't know.
On the recycling, Reed, is there not an opportunity for the citizens to use the convenience centers with the county, and they probably have a recycling, bins there as well. Is that not true?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that not true, ladies?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what I'm thinking,
So,
that's why I was gonna ask that
So
question.
you're not gonna be without the ability to do so, so would you let them know where the closest, convenience center is to the city?
Yes, ma'am. So as everyone knows, the convenience, one is located right here on Smith Avenue. It's right down the street here. Then we've got another one on East McKeever as well as West McKeever. The one, on East McKeever, I'm trying to get east and west, right?
There's 4 stations in the city.
Yes, ma'am.
At the end of it, you know.
Then we've also got, of course, the landfill itself behind there in Dillsburg. So it's well within your close proximity to the city.
So we do want to continue to support environmental awareness and leaving, as much as we can, plastics out of our landfills. So you wouldn't be without if you still want to be a part of that or join the effort and recycle. I promise you'll use less garbage bags. When you're using the recycle, it does cut down on that. And if you have a garbage disposal, even the more. So we do, and I need you to, I'm gonna do it for Charles, Mr. Shugart, I'm sorry. Your fats, oils, and greases, he did not say it, but it also goes into our sewer. So if you would take some, like a paper cup and paper towel to soak up your hamburger grease and discard it in your garbage and not down the sink. I don't care if you use hot water. I don't care if you use Dawn dish detergent and Clorox or bleach. It still can coagulate, I think is the right word, inside the pipes. And that can prevent things from flowing freely. Is that not right, Mr. Sugar? So please, our restaurateurs are doing that, but also home residents can contribute to problems in the sewer lines. So please bear that in mind. You're not going to be without recycling if Mr. Reed makes a recommendation and the council accepts. You still have that opportunity. And don't forget about the house, the fats, oils, and greases.
I have one follow-up. I don't need the mic, I'll just speak up. With the recycling, can you give me a monthly or yearly tonnage that we're actually utilizing with the recycling?
Yes, sir. I don't have those exact numbers with me.
Yes.
But Tuesday night I'll produce it during the council meeting.
Do you have any idea of how much recycling we are actually picking up in the city? This is a rough estimate.
So the last totals, I want to say just off the top of my head, because this past week was recycled, it was only around 12 tons.
Okay.
For this past week. So you calculate roughly 25 to 30 tons at most a month.
Okay.
That's including your convenience centers?
No, ma'am. That's just
Just
my
city.
one truck run around twice a month.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, up next, I want to keep the mic. Up next is Deborah Jones.
Oh, that would be me.
My question actually was in regards to recycling.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you said it's not cost effective. It costs you roughly $30,000 annually.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you done any research in regards to other cities to see how they're doing with their recycling and what we could do better to compare? Because recycling is important. It's very important. And I would hate to say you just see it just thrown away because you say it's not cost effective. But it can be cost effective. I've come from up north, and we do recycling, and it can be profitable for the city.
Yes, ma'am.
So my suggestion is someone do some type of research, and I will do some type of research too, to see how it can be done better. And so that we won't just throw the program away.
Yes, ma'am. And that's why I said to you right now, this is all kind of a preliminary study that we're doing in-house to find out what other alternatives we have that can be in place. Years and years ago, we had another company that came in to do recycling, and they would actually have to sift through the garbage and pull out recycling. But that company is no longer around that does that. So we are looking at all options. Like I said again, this is kind of just a preliminary study for data.
And just one more follow-up. When the recycling is done, is there someone there that's actually checking to make sure there's not food? Because there's certain things that have to happen with recycling. Bottles have to be cleaned out. It can't be a pizza box with pizza still in it.
Yes.
And cereal.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
seen it at our recycling center on McIver Road.
Mhm.
So, and I've spoken to the guy who's in charge, and I said, you have to actually monitor these type of things. Because if it's not clean, it's not working.
Yes, ma'am. So whenever my team goes out and uses everybody's blue recycle bins throughout the city, what they actually do is if they see any glass bottles, they're literally pulling those out and setting them. Most times they'll set them on top of the blue bin because of glass. If they're, because whenever we take it to Sunoco, if there's glass in there, they reject the load.
That's right.
And they charge us, for rejecting the load there. So there's an additional fee that we incur.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.